Welcome to La Vida Rosa. I'm your host Pinky, and today we're going to be talking about Love is Blind news. So if you'd like to see more than just stay tuned, like, comment, and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into this video. Alright, you guys, a lot has went down since the reunion. People have sent me stuff. I've just seen stuff, mainly on TikTok and Instagram, Twitter, stuff like that. I did cover Love is Blind. I might as well give y'all the little updates that I've been seeing. First things first, she said the reason why she didn't show up to the reunion is because she was getting threats against her life, and so was Josh, and that's why they decided to do that to keep their family safe. Jackie was really spiraling after the reunion or during the reunion. I wasn't really keeping up with her page. She was posting a bunch of text messages, desperately trying to prove that she had broken up with Marshall before she ever went to go meet up with Josh. Even after that good edit she got, she was still trying to tear Marshall down. But then she saw a clip of Marshall's interview, and he was actually defending Jackie in that clip, and she looked like, at this point, she looked really, really, really bad, because the man really ain't said nothing bad about Jackie. He told his side of the story, but there's so many nasty things. He could have went low like you did so many times, and he just didn't. He always took the high road. When she saw that he defended her, that she didn't cheat on him during the filming of the show, that she broke up with him first, I guess that was the thing that softened her heart. Or maybe she just got tired of being drugged, and maybe she just wants to get in people's good graces, child. But she finally took all of that mess down, and she decided to apologize. She posted this to her story. I would like to start this off by saying I sincerely apologize and take accountability for my actions and words in my relationship between Marshall and I. I also want to take the time to express my gratitude and appreciate of Marshall clearing that up, that I did in fact in the relationship before meeting Josh at the coffee shop. I understand that it was a quick transition from one relationship to another, but this relationship did not start as most do in the real world. To some, it may seem as if it's a quick transition. However, this is only a small percent that can be shown on TV, and my connection with Josh was much deeper than it seems from a viewer's perspective. I also would like to thank Marshall for taking accountability for the derogatory comment that was made off camera. I would also like to apologize and take accountability for my disparaging remarks as well in those leaked messages. It was tasteless and disrespectful to speak about anyone in that way. It was never a battle between Marshall and I. I just wanted to clear the timeline of the events that took place, as it looked as if I was a cheater and starting one relationship before leaving another. I am thankful that Vanessa Lachey allowed me to speak my piece and take accountability for my actions. All I can do is learn and grow from this experience. Like Marshall said at the reunion, we both deserve happiness, peace, and to be able to move on from what transpired last year. Marshall and I have personally apologized to each other and took accountability for our actions and have moved on. I would also like to apologize and take accountability to the public, as it was done on the show for everyone to see. Actions speak louder than words. I don't know why this is the hill she wanted to die on so hard. Oh, I didn't cheat. But girl, if you broke up with him the day before and then you start kissing on the man as soon as you see him the next day, that's still trifling. We still looking at you as trifling. You would have done better just coming on here and just publicly apologizing to Marshall, because you did him dirty. You did. Both you and Josh did. And I believe Josh did a apology video. He was rambling and going in circles, child. I couldn't keep up, but they just want the public to get off their back. And I can kind of understand that. I know it can be a lot. I know they getting a lot of backlash. I know they getting drugged everywhere on these internet streets. But you have to take accountability for your actions. And you should have known in the past how villains on this show get treated. I can't have too much sympathy, but the girl did apologize. I don't know why she tried to act like Vanessa Lachey really held her accountable and to task for anything she did. She did not. Okay, that's why you was up here acting a fool after the reunion, because when nobody accepting that little staged relationship, we're not into it. Okay, y'all ain't gonna be getting no brand deals from this relationship, so let it go. I mean, I really haven't heard much from her since this, so hopefully y'all just go become civilians again. Don't try to be public figures. Work on yourself, be better. But it's a wrap as far as you becoming like an influencer or something like that. You done ruined that bag. So just stay civilians. I hope you and Josh work out in the long run. You know, based off of both of y'all personalities, it don't seem like it will, but that's on y'all. Please leave us out of the group chat. We're tired of it. We done got enough from you, Jacqueline, this season, okay? Okay, y'all, so let's move on to Marshall being exposed for his colorist, anti-black woman tweets. Apparently, like 9-10 years ago, Marshall made some very tasteless tweets. He said, yes, I love light-skinned girls. I prefer them actually, but I like brown, dark, white, yellow too. And then he said, Justin likes black girls with a laughing emoji. What's funny about that? I need a Hispanic female in my life. Lord, please make this happen. I was disappointed to see these tweets that came from Marshall's page. Even though I do feel like it's ridiculous to go through people's old tweets, pull them up and expose them, like especially when they were like teenagers or young adults saying this, it's like, okay, y'all, people change, people evolve. This is not the first time we've seen a black male voice these opinions and how they much rather have a spicy Latina woman and how they much rather have a light-skinned woman. And these days we have the language to say that's colorist, that's anti-black, and that comes from like a self-hating place. We know that. We can only hope that people will grow in 9 years, but that's not to, we're not just going to automatically assume that you have just because these are, oh, you know, a lot of people don't grow. A lot of people still keep those same ideals from when they was 19. Black women as a whole, I feel like a lot of us were like sticking up for him. I was one of the ones sticking up for him in my reviews. So to see that was kind of sad. Even though I'm light skinned, I don't stand for colorism. So Marshall did address the tweets. He said, I'm seeing a lot of my old tweets surface from years ago. This happens to pretty much everyone that goes into the public eye. It happened to my cousin. I knew it would happen to me. Let me be clear. Like I said to someone earlier, things change. I was a sad teenager with a lot of issues when I tweeted a lot of that. I've grown and do not feel or think the same way. Anyone with anything to hide would have gone back and deleted it, but I left it up for a reason. I even had a chance to go back and erase it. I elected not to. It's my progression as an individual, as a human. Those old tweets are just proof that I have evolved. I thank God for the opportunity to be damaged, seek clarity, forgiveness, and develop into a better person. All of that is cute, but there was not an apology. It is just so sad that black women, and especially dark-skinned women, have to be a punching bag for people and their development growing up. Oh, I'm so sad, so I'm going to talk down on the women in my community. At least apologize for talking down on a community that I'm sure your mother belongs to. I don't know if you have siblings. I don't know if you have family members. I don't know if you have friends. But at least apologize in that way. If you knew the tweets existed, why not, since you're not going to delete them and you know they're hurtful, why not bring them up yourself and apologize? Like put your own self on blast and apologize for it. Like, look, I was stupid back in the day. I'm so sorry. It just looks bad on Marshall too, because he did choose a Latina woman and he had one of the tweets saying that he wanted one of those so bad. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to beat the allegations when I feel like you had a clue before saying Jacqueline that she was Latina. Y'all had to talk about that. And clearly that's your preference. And then look how your preference did you. You know what I'm saying, y'all? But y'all let me know what y'all think about that down below. That's something that rubbed me the wrong way. And even how he addressed it still, I'm just like, oh, Marshall, I had your back before. I don't know if I do so much now. Let's move on to T and Natalie. So T and Natalie have a podcast together. I think basically they get on there and they recap Love is Blind episodes like every week when they drop. They had some really not nice things to say about Zach.
Zach's weird. Yeah, well, if someone doesn't blink, I'm sorry, that's just a little, That's just scary.
Oh, but I don't blink. Do you think I'm weird?
Dude, you blink. Sorry, I don't think you literally just blink.
Because you
again.
because I got self-conscious.
Natalie, I would tell you if you were creepy. Like, I wouldn't be doing this podcast with you if you were creepy. Trust me.
I don't know.
If you gave me the ick and you didn't blink,
anything for the bag. I'm just kidding. She said, you look like something out of a cartoon. My jaw dropped.
I died.
Is Zach a little offbeat? Yes. Did Zach do some things that I did criticize? Yes. But I don't know. I wouldn't go as far as to say that, oh, because he doesn't blink, or oh, because he carries himself a certain way. I didn't really go into that part of it, because I really think that's kind of a mean girl thing to do. I could see if his mannerisms and things like that were accompanied with like perverted behavior, but we didn't really see that from Zach, so I don't understand why they were going in on him like that. Especially Deep T, who was very insecure and said that, you know, she felt like she didn't fit in. So it's crazy how, you know, it once again, like Irina, you got bullied, so now you're playing a bully. And also Natalie, Shane is one of the most offbeat people I've ever seen in my life, right? So I can't believe you had the nerve to speak up on Zach when you was in love with Shane. So in case y'all missed it, the couples from this season of Love is Blind, they did an episode of The Cut. They did a game called Truth or Drink, and there was some little interesting, little cute little tidbits, facts that came out of that video. I'm gonna link the video down below, but here's some little highlights. It's funny because Bliss said that most of the men that she connected with in the pods, they all thought she was white. I thought that was funny because Bliss doesn't match her voice at all. So I could totally see how they would think that. Also, we found out that Jackie basically was talking ish on all the men that were now married. I believe she said that Brett was corny. I think she said Zach was weird or strange, like they had a really bad date. She was talking crap on Kwame because he wanted to go 50-50. That whole exchange between Kwame and Chelsea was a little cringy because in that moment she was using a black scent, and I'm just like, don't get beside yourself, girl. Calm down. I know you with a black man, but that don't mean you have to start rolling your neck and using a black scent. Chill. Like, that's a bit much. At one point they were asked about exes being in their DMs, and Kwame was like, yeah, I got exes in my DMs, like, ooh, you done blew up or whatever. He clicked like on one of them, and Chelsea didn't even know about that. She was like, oh, so you clicking like on DMs? I was like, boy, y'all. They try to act like they're so in sync. You can't tell me they're not on two totally different pages, and she's just not delusional, just wanting to be married. He's just going along to get along because he wants the clout. Iyanna just confessed that Jarrette did cheat on her during their marriage. We all had a similar opinion on Jarrette and Iyanna's relationship. We always felt like Iyanna was the second choice. He wanted to be with Mallory. Had Mallory chosen Jarrette, Jarrette would have been with Mallory, you know what I'm saying? Because she decided to go a different way, it broke his heart. He was crying his eyes out. He ended up choosing Iyanna, and she was the second choice. Rarely do those relationships work out. I do feel like Iyanna was very naive in the situation when it came to Jarrette, and I feel like this relationship probably opened her eyes up and showed her that just because somebody says one thing, that doesn't mean they mean it. Let me not get ahead of myself. So Iyanna was doing an Instagram live, and she confessed to Jarrette cheating on her during their relationship.
Who emailed you? The girl. No, it's nobody that y'all knew. No, it's not Mal. Before y'all start. Yeah, she literally said, I'm coming to you as a woman. First of all, I hate when they say that. She knew who he was before he slept with women. I actually didn't. I didn't know who he was. I thought I did. And maybe I convinced myself I did. Probably I did. I was probably just wanted to be so in love that I was like, oh no, it's fine. How did you confront him? Girl, I got the email when I was literally sitting in between his legs while he was taking out my braids. No, he didn't try to deny it. He couldn't deny it. I had a picture of a girl in my apartment.
He was helping her take her braids down. And if I remember correctly in the timeline, she had braids in for the reunion. Obviously, when she found out about this, she went off. So she decided to leave and go to her own apartment. And she did say all this happened before, after the altar, like the little special after the reunion. And that explains their energy. They did have a very weird energy. They kind of blamed it on him being out all night, which doesn't shock me that he was cheating while he was out all night long. When we were watching the show, she was having to move back in because she had left. She said that she tried to make it work for a year because it was marriage, and then she decided to call it quits. People were asking her in the live, you know, would you have stuck around even if he didn't cheat? And she said no, because they were just wildly incompatible. She said that he didn't have a growth mindset, and that was so frustrating to her. Also, he told her that she talked too much, and she was like, that man just did not like me. He just sounds like he was just very critical of her. And that's what men start to do when they itching to get out of a relationship. Like, instead of being honest and breaking up themselves, they'll do little nitpicky things like saying you talk too much, picking on little things that you do, staying out all night, just doing anything and everything to make the relationship not last, instead of just being honest. At one point, she did say he is a good guy. He just has a lot of unhealed trauma, and he copes in unhealthy ways. You would think getting shot was the worst of it. He has stuff that doesn't even compare to being shot, like worse than that. And someone asked about her mom. Did her mom want to go off on him? She said the mom was supportive because they saw the potential in him, and they was just like, well, are you gonna stay or are you gonna leave? If you're gonna stay, you might as well move back in. You know what I'm saying? That's like a kind of hard situation to be in with your child. I understand, you know, seeing the potential in somebody. I think that's the mistake that Iyanna made, is she saw the potential in him. But if you don't see somebody working towards being better, and like she said, he doesn't have the growth mindset, so you could have all the potential in the world, but you'll never get there if you're not trying, you know what I'm saying, or making an effort to be better. She said that she could never hate him because she just doesn't have hate in her heart for anyone. They're still cordial, and he even FaceTimed her for her birthday. I was like, girl, really? Anyway, because I know her birthday was very recent, and I'm just like, please do not fall back in that trap. She claims that she'll never take him back, though. There's too many, you know, fish in the sea, other good men that would treat her better. So she said that she wouldn't subject herself to that. Sometimes you're blinded by love. By the time Iyanna was hearing our opinion about this, like from the public, she was already married to him. So, you know, it's kind of hard to tell somebody, well, you need to get a divorce because he didn't choose you first. Of course, she was just going to try to make it work out. She said she was like 25, 26. That's still young. So, you know, give her a little grace. She seems like she knows better now. She's growing. Apparently, Jarrette is going to be telling his side of the story. He claims he's been taking the high road, child. Jarrette, you might as well save it. Nothing you can say is going to make us take your side. Save your breath, honey. Just let it die down and move on with your life. Become a civilian just like Jackie needs to. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think down below. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? I'd love to hear your opinion. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace.